I'm Jenny, and we're Weber Family Reviews. And we wanted to go over some games from Target today.
We did a Target video earlier, but they've kind of expanded. Now, I think, looking at all of these, I think there's only one duplicate because it's still there, hasn't been clearanced, and is still excellent. So, we'll get to that one. Also, we'll probably do a couple honorable mentions at the end of some things that are there or were there and are being clearanced that, they're great deals.
The big thing about Target is, well, they have some staples, and they do. They have their stock does change a lot more than your local game store. And so just because these were there, and these were there in our Target when we checked like last week. But that doesn't mean they are, and they clearance a lot of stuff, and they purposely rotate stuff. But this gives you an idea of what they carry. July
2021.
Yep, and Alaska. So we're usually behind in what we have on the shelves.
Or we're clearancing late or early. All right. Yep. So why don't you start?
Okay. Well, this is Catan dice. And we just have it in our little storage tin, but you know, it doesn't really come in anything to put it back in, so this works as good as anything else. They carry regular Catan as well too, but this is a great roll and write version. It's great for traveling. It's great for, a lot of times we'll buy a couple copies and we mail them overseas. So, you know, we get a lot of use out of this little package. But they also, as I said, they carry the base Catan. So if you're looking, this is a great way, if you're someone who enjoys Catan, it's a great way to have a travel version.
Yep. All right. Another small game, flip and write. And this is actually one of the best flip and writes I've dealt with. Silver and gold. So what you're doing is you're flipping a card, and then somebody will mark off the X's or spots, and they're looking literally for X's where there's treasure or palm trees, and you're going to get points based on these, plus points based on, and I always forget what you're getting points for completing cards, but I'm also looking at the trophies. And there's certain other additional bonuses you can get. So I've actually enjoyed this one a lot. It sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about with it, but no, this one, best flip and write, lots of options, love it.
I like roll and writes more than he does, and this is one we both enjoy.
Yep. This
is a party game. This is just one, and you're trying to be, have the only one of the category. And talking about clearancing games, we recently purchased this as a gift, and I was more than willing to pay the $24.99 MSRP. We get to the checkout counter, and it was $12.50. We went back and bought like 3 more copies because we like having games to give, because we give games for everything. A new baby, we give you a game. Graduation, we give you a game. Getting married, we give you a game. Toys for Tots, we give you a game. So this was, I thought that was a great deal. But they always have a nice selection of party games on the shelf at any given time. Yeah. This is just, I think, a particularly good one.
Just one works really, really awesomely. So everybody writes, the clue's there, everybody writes down a word. Then you get rid of all the duplicate words. So you try not to match all your friends. And then a person comes in and has to guess what that word is based on the remaining words. As a party game, it's excellent. Okay, we have Parks. I like Parks. They have I don't know.
It's a standalone.
Standalone, I don't know if it's truly simplified. Parks and this one are really similar. The one thing about this one is you're never stopping. It's very similar mechanism. You can move forward 2 spaces. You can spend a resource to move as many as you want spaces, do the action there. It's like Parks, only you're continuing to go back and forth the entire game. So at no point do you have to stop and wait. So I actually like that part a bit better. It's smaller, it's self-contained, still got excellent components, works really well going to action selection based on where you put your guy, but you can never go back. You gotta go all the way to the end before you turn around. I think it's great. So that's Parks, making sure I got it, Trails, a Parks game
Well, and they have parks right now at our
Target.
Target as well.
Right next to it.
Yeah. So you can get either one there. And I just saw they had the new Memories or something like that. It's like a matching game. We weren't interested in trying it, but it could be. It could be a good one, especially if you have younger kids.
But that one was at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, that was Barnes. Okay. Barnes & Noble has a good selection too.
Wrong video.
I know. Okay. So this is Patchwork. Now this isn't the edition at Target. Our Target right now has the Americana version, but this is our copy of Patchwork. And Patchwork is a great 2-player game. We actually didn't own it for a long time because the app works so good and this takes up so much table space. And I don't like that ugly quilts make more points, but I end up with Christmas edition because I like that, I can play at Christmas. And I think this is a prettier version. The Americana one looks interesting too, but it's a great 2-player. It's quick, it's easy to teach. It's got that Tetris mechanism that we all kind of know and enjoy. As I said, it is a table hog. That would be my one criticism of any of the versions of Patchwork. And any of them are equal. Like, there's no difference between this version and the Americana and the standard version, other than the color of the patterns and tiles. And this one came with the cookie cutter, but, you know, again, I don't think that is a make or break.
All right. Now, I've got Dungeons and Dragons starter and essentials kits in this one box. You can get away with the essentials kit. It's a great system. It's got all the dice you need. It's got cards, things to help, character sheets, and it's got an adventure. Honestly, I had stayed out of role-playing for a long time. I kept the books somewhat, but stayed out of role-playing a long time. And one of my friends got going a D&D group. Jumped in, been fun, but our oldest son wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, well, what do they got? This is at Target. If you are interested at all at getting into Dungeons and Dragons, this is the way to do it. And it's pretty cheap. They're fun. So,
this is a game that I was shocked to see sitting at Target, and that's Wingspan. Wingspan, obviously hugely popular. Everyone has, been gaga for a while. It was almost near impossible to find. And this is sitting on the shelf at our local Target. And, it's one of those that, you've got this. I'm just kind of shocked. And sitting next to it is Fireball Island. Now, we've never played Fireball Island, so I can't tell you if it's any good, but I know that everyone's talking about that.
It's the current version. Yeah.
But anyways, again, a game everyone's talking about, super popular, super, almost cult to the new, and it's there at Target. And this, a huge, great tableau engine builder, eminently popular. I think it will eventually maybe become a modern classic, but it's really not there yet, but yet Target has it. And that's really awesome to me. Now, it doesn't have the expansions there. At least I didn't see them at our Target.
That we know of.
Yeah, some of the Targets might have them.
All right, new. Cult of the New, Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition. So I've played Terraforming Mars, the full game, and I like it a lot. I also really enjoyed Race for the Galaxy. This took both of them, smushed it together, and streamlined it. It is a little bit long for what some people are talking about, but that's only as you're learning it. Once you've got it down, it's the right pace. I happen to have the Kickstarter edition, but they have the standard edition at Target, and it's a fun game. I'm not sure how much. I didn't check the price, but it's probably about $30-$40, and you get a lot of gameplay. Race for the Galaxy was
$39.99.
Okay, there's your answer. Race for the Galaxy was kind of a pain to teach because of the iconography. This is not. This is great. So, Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition.
This was a game sitting at Target that was an impulse buy for us, summer camp. But it's surprisingly good. And we have impulse buyed a number of games at Target because they looked cool and they're sitting there, and often they're cheap. And they're surprisingly good. I mean, there's been a couple. We just played one that we were not impressed with.
Yeah, Dice Through Time.
Yeah, Back to the Future. We weren't. But again, you know, so many of these impulse buys, they get such a wide variety. And this is a deck builder / race.
Yeah.
You are trying to get down 3 different paths as fast as you can. At the same time, you're trying to build up a deck that allows you to do it. And it's got all these different decks so you can mix and match, because you pick what the 3 trails are. Like there's crafts, there's cooking, there's outdoors, there's nature, there's all these different ones. And there's like 7 decks in here, and you always use 3 of them, which means you've got all these different combinations as you play through them. And they each have a little bit of their own spin to them. And if it does, you know, I could see easily this could be expanded. I don't know that it ever will be, but it could be. And this is just a great little game. It's one that I think I might not notice at, you know, a regular game store, or I don't think a game store would get in yet. It's a really good game. I think it plays a wide variety of ages. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. And it's, you know, right now it's middle of summer. It feels like a good play.
And that one was like 24.
Yeah, I think it was like, $25 right in there.
All right. Jaws. Strangely enough, my oldest son loves this one most out of the family. But really, what we've got is 2 phases. Act 1, hidden movement of the shark. We're trying to find the shark. And we want to find the shark quicker. The shark is 1 player, so it's 1 versus many. We want to find the shark quicker, because the more people the shark eats, the stronger it is in Act 2, where you're on the boat, and you will, those of you who have seen the movie, you are going to say, gotta get a bigger boat. Because the shark's attacking the boat, taking chunks off of it, and you're trying to kill the shark. You've got all sorts of equipment and the like, but it depends on how good you did in the first one catching that guy as to which side it slants to. I've enjoyed it. This is really the only hidden movement game we kept.
Other than Scotland Yard.
Do we still have Scotland?
Yeah.
We still have Scotland Yard. Yep.
Not really a fan of hidden movement, so.
Yeah.
This is Ticket to Ride. This is, you know, one of the modern classics, and it's sitting there on the shelf at Target. Easy to get. You know, if you're looking to get someone a game who's not a big gamer, you want to get them in, this is a great choice. And it's there at Target. And you know, it's right there next to Catan. They usually have Dominion in. You know, all those base starter games, they're all sitting there. But it's not just them. As you've seen, they have everything from little kid gaming to, you know, more strategy gamers. So, but I love all the Ticket to Rides. We have all the versions. They don't usually carry most of the different ones.
Oh, they keep the small ones.
They keep the small ones in stock. They usually have both Europe and the base Ticket to Ride USA. So you're not going to find the more esoteric expansions, but you're going to find all the base parts for any starting gamer. You know, you wanted to give a gift, great place to go.
And sorry about the taking sips here. I've got some weird pollen thingy.
And blame the weather.
Sure. All right, the one that was on the last list, Pan Am. It's still there. It's never been clearanced. It's been there for about a half a year, which is abnormal. They normally clearance these things quickly.
When we got this, they had to go find it in the back room for us, so I know we were the first wave to get it here. And
it's still there. Still full price. Still, and I think it was $35. This is a worker placement Euro game where you're actually trying to get your airline routes bought by Pan Am. So this is, you know, at the heyday, the golden age. And you've got events going on. So the person with the most shares of Pan Am. So as you get money, you're going to buy shares at the end of the round for Pan Am. Whoever has the most shares of Pan Am wins. So you're not looking for the most money. You're looking for the most shares, and the share cost is low early, and it ebbs and flows. It goes up and down. But, man, towards the end, it gets hard to get those shares. So.
Well, there's a bidding mechanism. It actually works okay, too, but when we played at 3, it really, all of a sudden, bidding comes alive.
I think 3 is
3 to 4 is going to be the sweet spot over 2, but it works 2-player.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
So. They also have all sorts of other ones. You can look at our other video, you know,
Dungeon Mayhem.
Dungeon Mayhem is a fun one that surprised us.
Builders and Biomes for Minecraft.
Yep, that was on our first one, and that is an excellent resource action selection one. And there's a fun one that's Godzilla Tokyo Clash, I think. What?
Yeah, it's Kaiju Clash.
Yep.
Also, Wonder Woman by Ravensburger. We don't actually own that anymore. It's a co-op, but it's a really good one. If you enjoy that IP, it's a good, solid co-op. Yep. We played all 3 different monsters.
Yep.
I'm not sure we won against them all. I don't think we did, actually.
I think we lost a 1 or 2, but 1. But it was a fun game. We just have enough co-ops that we played through it. We found that one on clearance for $10. So some of these you can get in there, and if they're on clearance, you can get an excellent game. I know Jaws is on clearance at ours right now for $14, and we got a heck of a good set of play. So look at these. Consider, if you're a gamer or getting started, Target's a great place to go. Ticket to Ride and Summer Camp are foundational. I'd say Pan Am's kind of a medium, light to medium. Terraforming Mars, that's a complicated one. But, Trails is also another good starter.
It's also a great place for kids games. We didn't really dive too deep into the kids game because our youngest is 11. We don't play a lot of them, but they have a nice selection of kids games. So if you're looking for a gift for a younger kid, we could have put Monopoly Gamer on here. Our kids still love Monopoly Gamer.
I like Monopoly Gamer. I don't like the Sonic one.
Yeah.
And that one's harder to find, though.
They have a bunch of different versions. They always have the standard too. They always have Monopoly, things like that. But they have a big variety of children's games that you don't have to be stuck with buying the same Candyland. You're going to have a huge array of that end of the spectrum as well. Things like Bugs in the Kitchen. That was sitting there last time I walked by. So, we just don't think about them because our kids are past that. But that doesn't mean those games aren't there and they aren't available as well. Hopefully this gives you some idea. And, I don't think Target needs any more money. But, we've got some really good deals.
If you're looking for a game, you don't have a local friendly local game store, Target, and maybe we should do Barnes & Noble also are where we go, and both of them have sales. All right, thanks. Have a good day.